Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to Functional Medicine with me, Dr. Howard Robbins. This is a very exciting show that I think you're going to find very important and interesting, all about the hidden hormone changing medicine today, weight loss, diabetes, and gut health, GLP-1. I might have to do it in two parts. I'm hoping I'll be able to get through all my notes and everything in just this one session. So let's begin. So I want to talk to you about something that today has become one of the biggest medical stories in the world. But before I do, you may want to write this down because it's going to be very important to you to get in touch with one of my main sponsors, Doctors Biome Gut Health. Doctors Biome, available at doctorsbiome.com. And you're going to learn why this is a very important and special probiotic beverage that you're going to want to take every single day. And you'll be able to use my patient coupon code, Howard. Well, maybe I won't give it to you. I'll give it to you at the end of the show. So listen to it carefully, listen to the show carefully, and at the end, I may be able to do something special for you. In fact, let me give it to you now. It's Howard35. If you use the coupon code Howard35, you'll get 10% off the retail price. As you're going to learn why it's so important, you're going to want to get it. And if you want to get an additional 10% off and priority shipping, even though it's free shipping, 100% money back guarantee anyway, go on auto ship. I think they call it subscribe and save. And you'll get 20 total percent off the retail price, which is awesome. So today I want to talk to you about probably one of the biggest things in medicine today. And that's basically GLP-1. Now, you probably heard the names of many of the different GLP-1 pharmaceuticals that have come out, like Ozempic and Wegovy and Mounjaro and Zepbound. You're going to see these on television commercials. I see it all the time in social media, celebrity interviews. Doctors are prescribing it all the time now. It was originally developed to help people with diabetes, particularly type 2 diabetes, and it became something known to be very important in weight loss. But very few people really understand this natural hormone and these drugs that are copying it. So you're going to be getting all the info, whether about these things on these shows. So first, let's start with the important part. GLP-1 is not an artificial drug invention. Your body makes it naturally. Okay. So I want to explain what GLP-1 is, where it comes from, why your body makes it, what it does, pretty much everything you're going to want to know about it, hopefully in a way that you'll understand it. I know that many of you are not doctors. I lecture to doctors and I train doctors from around the world in what I do. But, in my medical office here in Manhattan. But I want to make it so that you all can understand me. First of all, I want you to know your body is much smarter than you think. It's constantly communicating internally. It's just amazing how that happens. And what you don't understand is that the bacteria in your gut are communicating with every organ and every system in your body. It's called the gut organ axis. Look it up on one of the AIs and you'll learn more. You'll just be blown away by how important gut health is and how it does all this communication. Literally with every part of your body. Now, what we're really concerned with here is your gut's communication with your brain, with your pancreas, with your immune system, and very importantly, your metabolism. So GLP-1 is one of these messages that your gut is sending out. It's like a text message. Your gut is sending out a message using this Glucagon-Like Peptide-1, okay? Glucan-like peptide 1 that your body is making. Glucagon-like peptide-1. That's what GLP-1 stands for. Glucagon-like peptide-1. And there are special cells in your small intestine and colon called L cells. And these L cells release GLP-1 when food arrives. They're almost like airport security scanners. When the food passes by, they scan what's coming in, sugar, fat, protein, fiber, and then they send out the GLP-1 message to your body. So, first of all, the the gene is called pro-glucagon gene, and it's like raw dough. The dough gets cut into different hormones depending on where it's going to be processed. In your pancreas, it becomes glucagon, and in your intestines, it just may become what's called GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide-1. It's the same raw material, but a different final product. And of course, you get different outcomes when it's made differently. So when you eat food, okay, within minutes, your intestines detect this food and GLP-1 gets released, and several different things can happen. First, it tells your pancreas release insulin. Insulin helps move sugar from your bloodstream into your cells. It tells glucagon, slow down. Glucagon will raise your blood sugar, you see. And GLP-1 prevents spikes in the sugar in your body. Ideally, you're going to eat healthy carbohydrates. Healthy carbohydrates, called complex carbohydrates, are processed and digested differently than carbohydrates that have been processed, like refined flour and refined sugar. Simple carbs, though the body will react to carbs no matter what, because even complex carbs become simple sugars for absorption. But it's a different message that's being initially sent. So it tells your stomach, slow down the conveyor belt, you see, so food leaves the stomach more slowly. That's what GLP-1 is doing. If it's being produced correctly in your gut, slow down the emptying time of your stomach. And this makes you feel full longer. And actually you feel like you're filling up quicker. So you don't need to eat as much food, and you don't have that hunger driven, I got to eat more feeling. It also is, the hormone is telling your brain, we're good, stop eating. So your hunger overall gets reduced. And therefore, if you're taking in fewer calories, it's going to be easier to lose weight. Now, before I go on, let's keep in mind how much you eat makes a very big difference. Okay, not just what foods you're eating, whether they're calorie packed or low calorie foods. Also, how you exercise. It's very important to keep your metabolism up, to exercise aerobically. Aerobic exercise burns more calories. That's true. Now, if you exercise prior to eating, okay, let's say within an hour of eating, it's a little complicated, but let's start with the fact that there is something called the thermic effect of food. Just in the process of eating food, you can burn calories, and you can burn up to 10% of the calories that you're eating just by eating. Next, you can increase this thermic effect of food by exercising aerobically prior to eating. For those of you that want to lose more weight, yes, within an hour of exercising aerobically for 20 to 30 minutes, go eat your dinner, go eat your lunch, or even go eat your breakfast. And you will burn more calories from the food you're eating and reduce the caloric intake, which can be converted into fat weight if you're going to store it, just from the act of consuming it. By increasing your muscles in your body, your muscle mass and your muscle strength, so to speak, you burn more calories, all right? So that becomes very valuable. But now let's get back to what we're doing here. So why is GLP-1? So Here's an interesting thing that you didn't know. So your body basically controls your natural appetite, okay, by developing how much GLP-1 is being produced. But you got to have a healthy gut to do it, and that's what we're going to be talking about in a minute. Please excuse me. I usually sneeze twice. We'll see if that happens. So here's the problem. Natural GLP-1 only lasts about 1 or 2 minutes. It's very quickly utilized, and there's an enzyme that actually destroys GLP-1, DPP-4. Okay, so DPP-4 goes after GLP-1 gets released, and it sort of destroys it as quickly as it possibly can. That's why pharmaceutical companies have been creating these products, because they last longer, you see. They're longer lasting versions. Unfortunately, there are adverse effects. So these drugs have become huge because, unlike natural GLP-1, they can last for days or even a week. Instead of getting a quick signal, people get prolonged appetite suppression. And that's why people say, I'm just not hungry. So basically, if I want you to think about some of these things that have been affecting our weight gain, and the fact that most Americans are grossly overweight. And if you're listening to this show, you may be listening because you want to lose weight. Keep in mind that, if you go way back, our ancestors on this planet had a problem finding food. That was basically what they did all day long. There was a scarcity of food. Today we live with an abundant, hopefully most of us, particularly those listening to this show, probably live with an abundance of food available. And unfortunately, where most people don't eat a healthy diet. They're eating processed foods and sugar, and that contain artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives. You're constantly snacking. And while our ancestors had stress in trying to stay alive and find food and protect themselves, so everybody was under stress. Today, stress is way, way, way more severe. People don't sleep well. That's another big issue. Most people need whatever amount of sleep they need. My energy level is so high that I only sleep 4.5 to 5 hours a night, and I am tremendously energized. Part of that came from doing intravenous ozone therapy, but it's also part of it is from eating a healthy diet and exercising regularly at the gym. So all these stresses, all these processed foods, sugar, artificial, ingredients, etc., refined sugar, stress and poor sleep interfere with healthy metabolism. And your body's signaling system about food and when you feel full and everything is completely overwhelmed, and it's very difficult for it. It's like trying to hear somebody whispering to you at a rock concert when everything is glaring. Now, here's an important thing. We're going to get into microbiome now. So one of the major discoveries and things that have been written about, and I lecture on, and I became extremely knowledgeable about. And when I say extremely knowledgeable, when I first started studying microbiome over 10 years ago, because I need it for my medical practice, it's important, very important part of intravenous ozone therapy. I knew this much. After 10 years, I know this much. And I have papers published in peer-reviewed medical journals. I lecture on this around the world. I'm known as a somewhat knowledgeable person on microbiome. Fact of the matter is, there's so much more to know. Your gut contains trillions of bacteria. There's good bacteria and bad bacteria, unfortunately. Your good bacteria produce butyrate and propionate and acetates. Basically, it's producing the compounds that stimulate natural GLP-1 manufacturing in your gut. Okay. And when you have enough of these healthy bacteria and they're doing their job, you're going to produce more GLP-1, and this is going to help you naturally regulate your hunger, your blood sugar, inflammation in your body, and weight. So, inflammaging, it controls the aging process in your body. I've done shows on that. So, when your gut bacteria are damaged, meaning you don't have enough healthy gut bacteria, GLP-1 signaling suffers. And right now, this area is being seriously researched. Why? Well, you're probably taking probiotics and saying to yourself, "Oh, I'm taking probiotics. I'm sure I have a healthy gut." I wish you were right, but I happen to believe and know, based on clinical experience, you're you're probably dead wrong. I say this seriously, dead wrong. And dead is a very important word to use here because we all want to grow old and be well. We all want to live longer, but live in a healthy way that we're productive and able to take care of ourselves. Believe it or not, your gut is probably one of the most important organs in your body. And I submit that if you've had an oral antibiotic, put aside, and I'm not putting aside IV antibiotics, even once in your lifetime, if you eat red meat or chicken that isn't organic or farm-raised fish, I don't care if you burn the meat, you're going to get uncooked out doses of antibiotics, whether you like it or not. And oral antibiotics, IV antibiotics, and antibiotics found in food are going to completely destroy the healthy biome in your gut almost instantly. And it's extremely difficult to recover from this. Why? Well, if you're taking probiotics, you believe you're taking probiotic bacteria that are going to help with this issue. You're wrong. Capsule probiotics are living bacteria. They're moving around, okay? They come in different forms, basically sticks that they call rods that look like my index finger. And you know one of them, acidophilus, if you've eaten yogurt or kefir or some of these other probiotic foods, they always have acidophilus in it, which is a rod. Okay. But then there's bifidobacterias. So there's lactobacilli bacteria and bifidobacteria. These two types of bacteria, some are rods and some have like hands and feet, claws where they can attach onto the intestinal wall where they're needed to aid in digestion, but more importantly, help in getting rid of harmful bacteria that are living there, get yeast, candida in balance again, because healthy bacteria help keep it in balance where harmful bacteria allow the yeast to overgrow. And when you have, excuse me, all these healthy bacteria living there, GLP-1 production is increased dramatically, very importantly. Now, I submit that when they freeze dry, and you can look this up, check me out, don't have to take everything I say verbatim. You're going to find out Robbins tells the truth about everything. People have learned that. My patients know that. It's important to me not to be caught in lying at this point in my life. I'd rather you smack me for telling the truth than suffer the embarrassment of being caught in a lie. And what you're going to find is when these healthy bacteria go through freeze drying process into a powder, and then that powder is sold as the powder, although they have to add stuff to it. Because when you take a measuring spoon of a probiotic powder, most of it is filler or sugar even, or dairy powder of some kind. Basically speaking, all the probiotics that are in that container of powder probably could fit on the head of a needle, okay? In a capsule, now they take this powder and they jam it into a capsule. Well, most of it is filler. The amount of probiotic in there, though it could be in the billions of what's called colony-forming units, CFU, is minute. Or they compress it into a tablet. Now, as you've heard from me on other shows, most of these bacteria are destroyed in the freeze drying process. They're very sensitive. They and the rest of them hopefully will come back to life out of this suspended animation that they've been put into. Unfortunately, most of them are dead, and then those that do come back to life don't have time to grow into healthy, strong adults that are hopefully capable of surviving stomach acids and then capable of sticking to the wall of the gut. That's why I told you at the beginning of the show about Doctor's Biome, because Doctor's Biome have utilized fifth patented proprietary strains to of next generation bacteria. They have letters and numbers after their name. And these next generation probiotics are capable of surviving stomach acids over 90% and sticking to the wall of the gut. They're also called smart probiotics for a reason. They didn't go to Harvard to get a degree. They actually change their genetic expression because they're capable of sticking to the wall of the gut and clawing onto it. But most importantly, they're living to begin with. They haven't been freeze dried. They're living in a 100% organic vegetable fruit juice, growing in number every day. So, besides being delicious, which is important, they're capable of surviving the stomach and sticking to the wall of the gut, which stimulates natural GLP-1 activity, which helps control your appetite, your weight, your sugar levels. Okay, all very important. So, why aren't GLP-1 drugs so wonderful? Why not just take the drugs? Okay, well, unfortunately, these medications cannot be taken by everybody because they can cause various adverse effects like nausea, vomiting, constipation, muscle loss, gallbladder issues. I'm not concerned about their expense. Many people have medical insurance that can afford them. Many of you may not have medical insurance. About half my patients don't even have medical insurance. Okay, things have changed in this country. And many people have reported regaining their weight after stopping the medication. There may be many underlying lifestyle issues. Maybe they were able to lose the weight without exercise. Okay, well, you want to get into a healthy state. And if you don't condition your body and your heart by exercising regularly, walking, swimming, biking, if you're not doing these things regularly, your chances of growing old and being well are not great, whether you like it or not. The average American man lives to be 75 or 6, and women 77 to 78. Okay, and that doesn't mean you're going to be healthy along the way. If you'd like to live on and become one of the 1.5 million centenarians predicted a decade ago, um, by the year 2050, you're going to have to be doing stuff to make that happen. And having a healthy body, healthy gut, and exercising are all important. So, taking these drugs, if they're right for you, that's okay. They're right for you. But if you want to produce natural GLP-1 in your body, you have to develop these healthy habits. You have to start supporting the healthy bacteria in your gut by eating fiber, vegetables and beans, seeds, whole foods. I haven't eaten meat or chicken in 45 years. This is my 46th year. I don't know when you're listening to this, but when I've recorded it, for various reasons, mostly health reasons, to prevent problems. But so I used to be a strict organic vegan. Now I do eat eggs, organic eggs. So things like that. I do eat some fish, wild caught fish. I think that's healthy to do. I even eat some dairy. I eat cheese and some organic dairy. Um, and you want to feed. So the key is to eat a healthy diet. Well, if you're not going to eat a healthy diet, you can still benefit from what I'm telling you, because Doctor's Biome, for example, is going to fix your gut anyway. All right. But if you want to lose weight, you can't be eating unhealthy foods that are calorie loaded, okay, and not working well. Um, Fermented foods and are good. Prebiotics are basically, something that you're going to hear about in the news. Prebiotics are the food that feeds healthy bacteria. Okay, actually, it feeds unhealthy bacteria also in your gut. Well, prebiotics is basically made up of fiber from vegetables and whatnot. It also could be sugars, natural sugars, even from complex carbs break down into natural sugars for absorption, and that feeds the bacteria in your gut, but differently because complex carbs don't give you spikes in sugar causing tremendous insulin release, damaging your pancreas to the point where it can't deal with it anymore and it starts to shut down. There's over 1.5 million people diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in the USA every year, and almost 3 million pre diabetics diagnosed every year in this country. I mean, it's a huge number of people are working against their health and longevity. So when you exercise regularly, you also improve your insulin sensitivity. Your body helps control that. You get better sleep, okay? Because if you're not sleeping with quality sleep, the deep sleep that you need, or getting enough sleep, this deprivation of sleep harms your metabolic hormones and also helps you, makes it more difficult to lose weight if you're in that process of trying to lose weight, maintain a healthy weight. Stress reduction is important. Meditation can be very beneficial. I do TM, Transcendental Meditations, since 1976 when I took the course in it. There's many different ways to do meditation, which can help control the cortisol levels that disrupt your hunger signals in your body. So, GLP-1 drugs are have been used for obesity, diabetes, heart addiction, fatty liver disease, inflammation, um, many different things. The field is exploding, but if you want to do it naturally and avoid all the adverse effects, side effects, rebounding, and everything else, you need a healthy gut to do this. I hope this show is motivating you to do the right thing. Okay. So, what I want you to remember to take away from this show is that your body already has a tremendous, remarkable intelligence. And GLP-1 is an example of that intelligence. It's like your gut is talking to your brain. And by the way, a healthy gut helps with depression and anxiety. I did leave that out. Your gut's talking to your brain, it's talking to your pancreas, it's helping you regulate your natural hunger, okay? Modern medicine has found a way to increase that signal on how to do it. But if you want to do it in a healthier way, you need a healthy gut, okay? Better food, better sleep, the right probiotics, exercise, all these things will make a big difference to how to the key to life is to grow old and be well. Please tell everybody about my show. Please subscribe to this show. It's very valuable. It's free. I haven't decided to start charging like some people do for these kinds of podcasts. If you really want to get a lot of healthy information, I'm giving it to you as a gift. Okay. If you have questions, call my office in Manhattan at 212 581 0101. That's 212 581 0101. You can email me at ozonedoctor, OZONEDOCTOR, ozonedoctor at yahoo.com, YAHOO, yahoo.com. And remember to go on to doctorsbiome.com, doctorsbiome.com. And remember to use the coupon code Howard35. You'll get 10% off the retail price. And if you found this show has made a difference, post something about it. I really appreciate that. Everybody stay healthy, stay well, and thank you all for listening. Check out my other podcasts. You may find them very important and valuable to you. Bye-bye now.